Coming up on iPads in the Classroom, we're talking about the human body and health. Hi, my name is Guy Trainin, and this is iPads in the Classroom from TechEdge. And today I would like to talk a little bit about some apps that explore the human body and, as a bonus, also talk about health. And the first one is probably my favorite one, and it's human body. And I'll just turn it on. It works only in this orientation. And human body is a very promising app from a company that is at least telling us, named TinyBop, that is telling us that they would like to make more apps. And if this is the example of how they make apps, they're worth following. And so the first thing you do at TinyBop is you can create your own profile. And this is Mary's profile, not mine actually. But what you can immediately see is that as you log in, it knows where you were last time. In this case, we were looking at the circulatory system. And you can look at different aspects of the system very quickly. So this is the heart, and you can see the flow of blood and the way the heart is showing how blood flows through it. And if you activate the little person on the bottom here, you can see, for example, that the heart rate goes up as we become more active. Now we're running, and so the heart is pumping a lot quicker. And if you move this bar, you can see what the heart looks like on the outside, and you can explore and see what's happening on the inside. So lots of interactive features. If we go to a different system, let's say the skeletal system here, first of all, you can layer the system so you can see how things work together, and you can see the diaphragm moving if you activate the system. This is the skeleton, and you can look at specific bones and put them back where they belong, so you can make it into a puzzle and see how our body is built from that perspective. Let's go to the nervous system. This is the nervous system. We can make it a little bit bigger so we can see it all there. So you can see it's very interactive, it's very responsive. But then you can take something like a feather and see what does it feel like when we tickle ourselves with a feather. And you get the message going to the brain and you get a smile. But on the other hand, if you take the mosquito, you can see the mosquito coming down, biting, and that message goes into the brain. So there's lots of neat little features that happened inside this app. Here's another example. What happens to our body as we walk and the messages that go up into our brain. So you can see that in this app you can really explore multiple systems of the body, all for it. This app does cost money. I definitely think that this is an app that is worth it because it's very interactive. It has tremendous amount of features and things for kids to explore and play around with, and you can limit it to something you want to talk about, or you can just have kids explore. There are a few features that are really interesting. One of them is communication with an adult. This is, at least in the app, defined as a parent, but it could be a teacher. And the child can record a question that they have about this part of the body or some insight they gained, or they can listen to a teacher or a parent who created something for them. So there's actually a way inside the app to communicate not in real time, but delayed through this recording. What it does, of course, is also it enables you as a teacher to have an assignment that then the students are supposed to respond to orally, and then you can go back and check that. And since you can create multiple personal profile on this, you can actually have different profiles for different students and therefore separate the products and the responses that they have and listen to them later. And if we go back to the beginning, you can also see that I'm a parent and you can create another parent. We can use that also as teachers. And then as a parent, we have a code and we can have access to what the child has done, to what is the recent activity, and you can also reply to any of the oral comments made by a child or by a student. So this one is called Human Body, and it is definitely worth exploring. The second app I want to talk about focuses on the heart, and it's called Virtual Heart. Now, unlike the last app, it is an app that is free, but it is also only limited to the heart. And what you're seeing here in great detail is actually the heart at work, and you can increase the beats per minute and see what the heart does when it's pumping a lot faster at 84 beats per minute, or what happens when you run and you start getting above 120. So you can see this is the interior view. You can see the electrical system on top of that. So you can actually see how the heart gets activated. You can see the valves very clearly in this view, and you can see the blood flow. So you can see how the blood actually flows through the heart. So all of these views allow you to have a very good illustration, and probably need to be a little bit slower to be able to see clearly. So it's fun to see it fast, but it's actually more interesting to see it a little bit slower. And you can see that you can turn labels on and start seeing what's actually going on from that perspective as well. So this is a great way to use an app when you're studying about the heart and really use all the aspects. It looks very realistic. It has different features, and it allows you to explore deeper or less deep depending on what you want to see. And this one is called Virtual Heart. And the last app that I want to talk about connected to the human body is called Essential Skeleton. And I have talked about Essential Skeleton in the past. I do want to show it because I think it's worth exploring. Obviously, it focuses on the skeleton, but it does provide a fantastic 3D view of the body. It is free, or at least free right now, and it allows you to look at the human body, rotate it, identify specific parts in the bones. You can actually zoom in and decide which part of the body you want to focus on. And this is the right arm. You can get additional information about it, the different bones, and highlighted, so you can look at exactly what that part of the body is doing. And then you can switch between the systems and also turn off the rest of the bones of the body to highlight a specific part of the skeleton. And again, just that ability to explore a skeleton, a physical skeleton in the classroom, is always great. And it teaches kids a lot, but they can't explore it. Usually they can't touch it. They definitely can't rotate it and look above and below and through. And here you can do all of that. So you can look at the skull, for example, and see that the skull is not one bone, but actually a few bones that are combined, and you can see those fissure lines and how they're connected. You can look at how separate parts of the body move around, and that's again one of those really important things that you can examine in an app like that. There is a 3D app that has all of those bits and has those layers of information added to them. So this one is called Essential Skeleton 3D. So today in iPads in the Classroom, we talked about 3 apps that look at the human body and how it works. They each provide a different aspect. Essential Skeleton provides a lot of information about the skeleton. Virtual Heart really helps explore how the heart works, but a human body really allowed a vast array of exploration across all body system, and it's definitely worth the investment of $299 right now with everything that it can do and all the little things that kids can explore in it. And I'll see you next time on iPads in the classroom.